All right, so let's actually go ahead and start and create new posts through the form. So let's go ahead first. We're gonna have two functions to actually implement this. Two functions with two routes. The first function will just display the form page, and the second function will actually we will use it to simply insert the data. All right, so in here I'm gonna go create post, and let's go ahead and simply copy this and paste like that. And in this route, I'm gonna rename this so it will actually be create dash post route. And right in here, we're gonna go create post like that, and the name should be create dot post. All right. So let's simply save. Let's pick this function. Let's go in there. Let's go ahead in here. Let's paste this in. Let's go ahead and copy the function and paste. All right, so let's cut this and paste like that. So this function will only just return a view, and this view it will not take in. We're not going to pass any post any kind of data to it. This will be create dash posts like that. So let's go ahead and copy this, and let's go in here and let's paste, and let's go blade .php like that. All right, so it's going to be, of course, we're gonna import a part for displaying um, the master template, or sorry, the part that will allow us to have access to the Bootstrap link. All right, that we just put right there in order to work with Bootstrap. All right, so I'm gonna go in here and go end section like that at the end this section, and then I'm gonna go in here create new posts like that in here, and take a quick look right at this part. You're gonna see that we're gonna have a form. So copy the form and go right in there and just paste like that and save. Let's hit route and let's see what we got. All right, so if we copy this right now, we go right in here and paste like that. Let's hit the route. So the route should actually allow us to have access to um, to the form page. Right, we can go ahead and set up some kind of a button right there inside this page, and then it will allow us simply um, go to this route. So I'm gonna go anchor. I'm gonna go in here each ref. I'm gonna simply go for the route, and I'm gonna go for the name of the route, which is post, which is create dot post like that. All right, so I'm gonna go in here for class, a class which is going to be btn dash success. All right, and in here I'm gonna go plus create new posts like this. All right, so if we save, let's go ahead in here and simply refresh. All right, so we click this right now. You can see that we're actually going to the route, which is awesome. Now let's move to the next part, which is about uh, inserting the posts. Right, so it's going to be a little bit different. So in here, I'm going to rename this function to actually store post like that. And right in here, I want to use my request class, and the request class, if I press like that, you can see that it's going to be imported right in there. So go ahead and import this in order to actually use it. So the request will allow us to have access to the information that's passed through the request, like the data that's coming in from the form. Right, we also want to inject an instance from it, which is conventionally written as request like that. All right, so let's go ahead in here and go and create a new uh, variable, and this will be create post in here. And since we want to insert inside the post, so I'm gonna go for the post like that. I'm gonna go create like this in here, and this is simply a function. All right, and this function takes on an array, and the array simply is keys and values. And this array will have the keys as the columns inside the database, which is title in here. And the value is going to be the data that's passed in, which we can access through the request. And it's going to be request, for example, and then the name of this input inside the form, which is title. All right. The other ones are basically, you can guess them, which is the author. And the second one is actually the content. All right. So these were, we'll just, this will fetch the data that's coming in from the title input and insert it right inside the column title, and it will do the same for the others. All right. So this is basically it. Do not bother with this in here. All right. It's an extension error or something. The code is valid. All right. So right after we insert, I want to check if we actually inserted it in here. We want to go ahead and we want to return a route. We want to go back to a certain route. We're not going to return a view. So I'm going to go, for example, and go return redirect like that, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit a route. And this route, right after we insert, I'm going to go back to the routes, which is the posts.all route. All right, we are going to go back to the slash posts link. All right, so this is basically what it is. Oh, let's now save. Let's go to the web in here. Let's copy this part. Let's go ahead and paste. All right, so in here I'm gonna create a new route, which is going to be a type of post, since we're gonna post data. And in here I'm gonna rename this so it will be store-posts, and this in here we're going to be store post like that. And also the name, I'm gonna rename this to store.posts. All right, so save. Let's now go ahead and copy this. Let's move to the part of the form, right? Because we need to link to the form in here. So the form method is post, which is already great. And in here, I'm going to go for the action. And the action is going to take on the route, which is store.posts, which we just set up. And in here, I have an input with a type text, and the name is title. And here a text area, and the name is content like that. We do not have one for the author. So let's go ahead and set up this. So this will actually be author like that. And it's also the placeholder. All right. And the button type is submit, and it has to save content like this in here, which is totally fine by me. Let's save, and let's not forget the CSRF token, which is very important. Otherwise, once we click the button to submit the form, it's going to send us to a 419 page, all right, which is a page expired. So we need to set this up inside every form that we have in Laravel. All right, let's save this. This is like, you can think of it as like a protection for our own forms. But this is like a very basic project anyway, so we need to just put it right there. All right, so let's simply refresh this like that, and here I'm going to set the title for third post, and the author, let's give it my name. And the content, you can simply grab some fake text. Let's click save. All right, so it's actually inserting, and it's going back to slash post like that. So very simply our third post, which is awesome. We go in here and click show. You can see that the post right now is actually just being inserted. It's inserted right now, which is great. All right, so yeah, this is what I basically wanted to show you in this video. In the next one, we might like display the post in one page. All right, display all the details of the post. So this is it, and I'll see you in the next one.